Test, test, test.
I'm going back.
Working on the weekend like usual. Way out from the deep end like usual. I swear the passers, they go too much. Had to do my taxes, I'm too good. Virgil got the patent, I just released. My shit was okay, so I'm just my tables. And I house of rose with it, too plush. Say my name is love, but I keep it love. Only see my text, please say something. This is fake. I'm eating over this. Baby got the eagles outside the crib. I can never tell. It is what it is. Said when I had to, did what I did. I just saw that everything was good. First got a pat on my wrist, going my wrist. Working on the weekend like usual. Way out from the deep end like usual. Sweat passes, they go too much. Had to do my taxes.
Mic check, test 1, 2. Mic check.
Mic test. Mic test. Testing if these sound. And we are back for game 2 of tonight's Interact doubleheader. If you are just joining us, we come to you after a tough loss for PC girls varsity basketball against Agnes Irwin. Alongside Justin Generals, I am Felix Robinson, bringing you Penn Charter versus Haverford boys varsity hoops. These two teams entered tonight's matchup tied for first place with a 2-0 record in the Interact, meaning that the winner tonight will seize sole possession of first place in the conference. Penn Charter is looking to pick up a win against a Haverford team that many people think are the favorites to win the Interact, as Haverford is ranked 3rd in the city with a record of 18-3, compared to the Quakers' position at 8th with a record of 11-6 on the season. Justin, what do you think the Quakers have to do to come away with the W this evening?
Yes, sir. PC, they need to look to limit the offensive rebounds and second chance points for Haverford. Haverford's going to look to crash the glass on every shot put up, so PC really needs to look to box out and crash the boards and look to get a lot of rebounds, as well as limiting turnovers. Haverford is going to look to capitalize. And are the biggest threat in transition and second chance opportunities, as well as PC just needs to look to play at their pace. Look to move the ball around a lot and slow the pace down. Don't let Haverford's zones rush you or force turnovers.
Yeah, moving the ball is going to be very important for them. One guy they're going to want to move the ball to is Jackson Boyd. The 8th grader has put up 12 points off the bench in both of the Quakers Interact wins, with 7 of his points coming in the 4th quarter of a tight game against SCH in their last game. Now it is time for the team introductions. First of all, it will be Haverford. Under Coach Bernie Rogers, this Haverford squad. 6'3" junior, number 11, Frank Gilbert. A 6'2" junior, number 33, Connor Morcell. The 6'7" senior, number 11, number 5, Manny Butts. And the 6'1" senior, number 3, Dylan Gamble. And the junior at 6'4", number 4, Silas Graham. A Division I caliber player already with an offer from Richmond is Silas Graham, as we get ready now for the Penn Charter intros. And quite some loud booing coming from the Haverford student section. Quite a large fan base they brought tonight, dressed in jerseys of all sports. The Penn Charter student section with a very classy approach, dressed in suit and tie, are many of them tonight. Under Brandon Williams, the defending league champions with an undefeated record in the Interact last year, the Quakers. At sophomore, the 6'11" center, number 13, Daniel Gilhool. The 6'7" junior at forward, number 10, Graham Hamilton. The senior at 6 foot, the shooting guard, number 20, Dominic Carmital. The 6'3" senior, number 44, Casey Fleming. And the 6'4" sophomore at point guard, number 2, Carter Smith. So those are your starters for the Quakers. Also coming off the bench, Luke West, Jackson Boyd, Miles Jacobs, Silas Burney, Larry Brown Jr., and Hanif Hughes. No Kingston Roundtree tonight for the Quakers, the only player not available to come in off the bench for them. As we are just about ready, or getting ready for tip-off with Haverford still in the huddle. The Quakers tonight dressed in their home whites and Haverford in their away reds.
Yes, sir. PC looking to capitalize on another win tonight, starting off the Interact at 2-0, coming off 2 big wins against EA and SCH. PC is looking to get another big win tonight against this tough Haverford school.
Penn Charter's defense has been very sharp of late. Their full court press strategy has helped them to average 11 steals over their last 3 games. We'll see if that press continues to work for them tonight.
Yes,
and the tip-off will be Gilhool versus Manny Butts. And it is won by the Quakers as Carter Smith will start off the ball running the floor for Penn Charter.
Already hearing a lot of chirps from the Haverford student section.
Quite a loud, organized group they are as Fleming looks for Smith inside. Smith back out to Fleming. Fleming swings to Comital. Comital drops it and picks it up. So Fleming now looks like he's trying to call the play. Gets it to Comital. Comital, Fleming. And Graham Hamilton back over to Fleming. Fleming drives, spins, fadeaway shot up, no good. As the shot clock went off before the shot could go up, so a good start there for Haverford on the defensive end.
Yes, sir. You know, not much to worry about. First possession for PC. Already coming out in a press. Let's see what that will do to Haverford's offense.
Maybe a little jitters on that first offensive possession, but now the Quakers switch to defense with Carter Smith guarding Silas Graham. Silas Graham, you may hear his name a lot tonight. He scored 40 points in one of his high school games. He's already reached 1,000 career points as he did last year, and a turnover for the Quakers. And emphatic reaction from the student section as it will be Quaker ball. Silas Graham and Manny Butts really the top two scorers to watch out for on this Haverford offense.
That's a big first foul for Manny Butts to pick up right at the beginning of this game.
As Carter Smith being guarded by Butts. Graham Hamilton over to Fleming. Fleming back to Hamilton outside the arc, unable to find penetration. Carter Smith pass inside, double team on Fleming. Fleming dribbles, looks outside for Comital, high pass over to Graham Hamilton. Graham Hamilton driving, under pressure, shot up, no good. Rebound tipped around, and the Quakers recover. So it will be Fleming back to Comital. Comital from deep, no good. And I believe a foul called, stoppage of play there. And it appears it will be an inbound for the Quakers after a foul there against Haverford. So the Quakers looking to score here early, trying to find buckets they were unable to on their first possession, trying to maybe get the ball to Carter Smith or Casey Fleming, as they are Penn Charter's two top scorers. Smith averaging 21 a night so far this season. He's been dominant offensively.
Yes, sir. PC's going to look for a lot of buckets from him tonight. A lot of instant offense for him.
As Gahul slides it over to Comital. Comital shot open from three, no good. Rebound, Silas Graham.
0 for 2 for Dom from three so far. Let's see. We'll see if he continues to struggle in this game.
Dylan Gamble driving inside, pass to Manny Butts. Manny Butts shot up and good. Manny Butts, the 6'7" center, had the game winner in their last game against
Malvern.
Against Malvern, thank you. As Penn Charter with the ball now, Fleming guarded by Silas Graham. Fleming, fadeaway shot, and it's good. Able to get the bucket for the first Quaker score of the night to tie it up at 2.
You know, Casey likes to shoot those little fadeaway middies a lot. That's where he gets a lot of his points from, in the mid-range area. So we'll see if he's able to capitalize tonight.
And Dylan Gamble inside after contact shot up and good, and an and one. So big reaction there from the Haverford student section as Gamble gets the bucket and goes to the line. Quakers continuing with the trap strategy. It did lead to an open man there. Wondering if they will keep that up over the course of this evening.
You know, only being 6'1", that's a tough finish for a short guy like him.
Dylan Gamble, definitely a college Division II or Division III caliber player. A really well-rounded hooper is Gamble.
Haverford coming back with a press of their own.
Gets the turnover. Silas Graham dribbling with the ball. Loses it, picks it up, back to Butts. Butts outside the arc on a screen, pick and roll to Graham. Graham guarded by Carter Smith. That's the big matchup of scorers to watch out for tonight. And Dylan Gamble guarded by Fleming. Gamble in the corner for Frank Gilbert. No good. Rebound. Penn Charter after the air ball. Carter Smith taking the ball up the floor. In contact. Loses the ball. Picked up by Gilbert. And a Ford's ball. As Butts not able to keep the ball in bounds. And another turnover as the Quakers will inbound trailing by 3. So Silas Graham now is no longer guarding Carter. Switch up now. He is against Gilhool. Casey Fleming now outside the arc.
Haverford switching out of that man right into their traditional zone that they like to play.
As Gilhool under pressure inside, kicks out to Carter in the corner. Carter from three, no good. Quakers have been unable to connect on their three-point shots yet this evening.
Coach Brandon going for a early subbing in Jackson Boyd.
Excited to see what he can do tonight. He's been really good as of late. Inside is Manny Butts, unable to get the bucket or the foul call. Quaker ball. Casey Fleming passes over to Gilhool inside to Carter Smith. Carter Smith up, bucket not able to get it to fall. Blocked, the ball did not even have a chance to reach the rim there. So good defense by the Fords. 3-point attempt from Gamble, it's good, and he drills it to make it a 6-point lead for Haverford.
Man, Dylan Gamble is starting off hot this game. First with the and one, a block on Carter, and another three. He's starting off real hot in this game.
He had 11 points in their win over Malvern, and Quakers cannot let him get open looks tonight. As Graham Hamilton with the ball passes back to Fleming. Seen a lot of action from them outside the arc so far tonight. And nice pass there by Fleming, but Gilhool unable to capitalize. Dribbles again, pass to Comitel. Comitel shot up and good. So a rebound and a bucket as the Quakers cut into a 4-point game. Silas Graham inside to Manny Butts, and it's good. And another foul. The Quakers have not had an answer for Manny Butts. And only 6'7", but he feels a whole lot taller as he is just strong, athletic, and a nice play there by Manny Butts.
Yeah, like you said, only 6'7", but man, does he play big. Plays aggressive, plays big in the paint, and that's been really helpful and great for this Haverford squad.
As Butts to the line, he's been averaging over 16.5 points over their last 5 games. Really spectacular for him as of late. As his first shot is good, and that's part of what makes him such a complete player, is he's been really good on foul shots, high percentage from the line so far this season. As Carter Smith being loosely guarded by Dylan Gamble. Looking for a man to get open. A lot of scrambling for the PC offense, trying to find a guy. Fleming's open, shot, no good. Rebound Haverford. Butts with the ball. As Dylan Gamble with the ball. Driving inside on Fleming. Shot up and good. Guess it was a gather step. Looked like a travel there to me, but he gets it to go.
Man, PC is really struggling early. I wonder if Coach Brandon will look to call a timeout soon.
Yeah, an adjustment already being made. He added Boyd to the game, and Carter Smith spins, shot up, and good. What a bucket from Carter Smith. Unguardable in the paint. Brandon Williams already making an adjustment as you see Larry Brown Jr. and Luke West preparing to check in.
Yeah, Coach Brandon's going to look for Larry to be real big and hopefully stop Manny Butts in the paint.
As Silas Graham now being guarded by Fleming. The Quakers' press strategy, I must say, has been less successful tonight, as yet again, the Fords are able to find a man in the paint to get fouled, which is Butts.
Yeah, it looks like Penn Charter is getting confused on these screens, whether to switch or stay on their man, as Manny Butts was easily able to come off the screen and get that foul called.
As Butts now, yet again, at the line.
Tearing his ACL in his sophomore year, he really hasn't struggled. He came back, and he has been really strong for this Haverford team. That torn ACL did not slow him down at all.
Yeah, he was limited in his playtime as an underclassman, but again, he has been really good this season. And he has yet to miss a foul shot tonight as he hits his first one. And Chaz Rodriguez checks in for Haverford, the 6-foot sophomore. Shot number 2 coming here from Butts, and it's good. And Haverford must be quite thrilled with their start so far, already leading by 9 with 2 minutes to play in this first quarter. They're shooting well, and they've been getting fouls. I think fouling something the Quakers need to be more disciplined in on as this game progresses.
Sir Haverford coming out with that 1-2-2 press.
Great shot fake by Fleming, shot up, it's good! Casey Fleming connects from behind the arc. And hopefully that can ignite some momentum for the Quakers and try to make a run here, cut into this Haverford deficit. As the press works out quite well for the Quakers, as the ball is off of Silas Graham, and it'll be Quaker ball. Jackson Boyd getting involved on the steal there. A great double team to force the pressure.
Yeah, Casey scoring 33 points on Sunday against Crystal Ray. I'm sure he's going to look to mirror that performance that he had on Sunday.
As Fleming now with the ball, and a screen run by Carter, but Chaz Rodriguez locking up Fleming outside the arc. Larry Brown Jr., his first time touching the ball tonight, hands it off to Carter Smith. Carter Smith looks like calling from a screen here from Larry. Back inside to Larry in the pick and roll, and he loses it. Ball lost in transition, picked up by Haverford, and Dylan Gamble will have the ball now. Dylan Gamble guarded by Luke West, who has also recently just entered this game. And Gamble on the baseline, passes, shot up, mid-range, no good, rebound, Jackson Boyd.
Man, Haverford has really looked to run their offense through Dylan Gamble early instead of Silas Graham.
I think it may have been due to Penn Charters prepping more for Silas Graham, and a physical attempt there, and a foul by Casey Fleming. Silas Graham is, many people consider him to be one of the best players in the area, and I was talking to some PC players in this week, and they said he was really the guy to watch out for. But if they watch out for him too much, they may leave other guys like Gamble open.
Yes, sir.
As Fleming will go to the line.
Yeah, Casey averaging almost 19 points a game on 45% from the field. Has been a really big part of this Penn Charters squad.
As his first shot is good. And Casey Fleming has been quite successful this season at the foul line, shooting 70%. As Connor Morcell, I believe, checks in for this Haverford squad. So Casey Fleming getting ready to take his second foul shot. And as this clock winds down to the end of the first quarter, the Quakers trailing by 5, but they were trailing by 9 earlier, so feeling like they're carrying some momentum right now. And Fleming drills it, 2 for 2 from the line. Connor Morcell to inbound here, up to Silas Graham.
Penn Charter looks to be coming in with a 2-2-1 press, looking to trap on the corners.
And the trap leaves Morcell open, who goes inside, gets the contact shot up, and it's good. No foul call. He's surprised by that, but he gets it to fall, giving Haverford a 6-point lead with just 30 seconds left in this first quarter.
Yeah, Penn Charter is going to look to wind down the shot clock to get just one last shot in this first quarter.
And I saw Brandon Williams is communicating with Fleming as they're trying to call a play here to get a quality look at the end of this first quarter, with Luke West currently with the ball, passes over to Fleming. Fleming guarded by Morcell. Fleming back to West. West tries to swing it to Boyd. Boyd back to West. West to Fleming with 4 seconds, 3 seconds. Shot up by Fleming. Front rim, no good. Rebound, Fords, but no time to get a shot off as the first quarter comes to an end with Haverford leading the Quakers 17-11. We'll be right back after this. And we are back with the Quakers trailing 17-11 as Connor Morcell to inbound for this Haverford squad.
Yeah, Casey has been playing really well in this zone from Haverford early on, having 7 of our 11 points. But it looks like Brandon has subbed him off for Dom Comital.
Yeah, right now Quakers starting the second quarter with Carter Smith, Don Comital, Jackson Boyd, Luke West, and Larry Brown Jr. So not their starting 5 as they're giving Larry and Graham Hamilton a rest. Manny Butts dribbling in circles, passes to the corner, back over to Dylan Gamble. Dylan Gamble from outside the arc. Dylan Gamble drives down low to Silas Graham, and he gets it to go. The nice bucket there from Silas Graham. He's averaging 21 a night and already making his presence known against the Quakers.
It's a great ball movement right there from Haverford.
And Carter Smith over to Jackson Boyd in the corner. Jackson Boyd passes to Luke West. Luke West, one of the better three-point shooters on this Quaker squad, wondering when he'll get his first look of the night. And turnover there. Silas Graham gets the steal, tries to get the shot, and it's good. And I believe a foul on Don Comitao as he grabbed onto Graham from behind as Silas was going up there. So Silas Graham back to the line to shoot one.
Yes, sir. Don was trying to get a foul before his shot went up. He was unlucky there.
And a great move by Silas Graham. He's a fast-paced player. He's sneaky athletic, and he was able to go coast to coast, possibly for the three-point play. And a rare foul shot missed there from Silas Graham and is out of bounds, and Haverford ball. So Haverford, despite the miss, will retain control.
Rare for Larry to miss a rebound like that.
Yeah, Larry Brown and Manny Butts were fighting for the ball there, but Butts was able to knock the ball off of Larry and out of bounds. As Dylan Gamble now with the ball at the top of the key. Over to Silas Graham in the corner. Graham facing the double team. Passes over to Morcell. Morcell to Frank Gilbert. Back inside, Connor Morcell, and he gets it to go. Pardon me, that was Dylan Gamble on the bucket. As the Haverford forwards extending their lead to a 12-point gap.
Yes, sir. Great entry pass from Frank Gilbert right there. Played at LaSalle last year, transferred into Haverford this year. Didn't see much time last year, but he's stepped up in a big way for his Haverford squad.
As Luke West gets the ball, floater, mid-range, no good, and rebound by Connor Morcell. Morcell up to Graham. Haverford trying to run a fast-paced offense here. Over to Dylan Gamble. Dylan Gamble up and under, a nice move, tough to guard, and it's good. The two from Gamble. As Haverford.
Coach Brandon looking to sub in Casey Fleming.
And Comitao fakes the shot, gets the defender to bite, pass it over to West, who also fakes the shot, but Manny Butts able to intercept the pass up to Dylan Gamble. Gamble over to Morcell. Morcell inside to Gilbert, back to Dylan Gamble. No good. Rebound Charter. Rebound by Jackson Boyd. So despite the good ball movement, not a great shot opportunity there for Haverford. As Jackson Boyd ends the 8-0 Haverford scoring run with the bucket, shifting the momentum back in the Quakers' direction.
Yeah, I mean, PC really just needs to slow the offense down right now. They're forcing a lot of balls, forcing a lot of turnovers, and it's really hurting them right now.
And I think they'll look to get Casey Fleming back to try to make this team more of a threat from three, as he has been a big part of their offense tonight and over the last few weeks. Yes, as wide open in the corner is Gamble, but he can't get it to go. Rebound, Manny Butts. And Manny Butts is, smaller than the Penn Charter center, Gil Hool, who's obviously not in the game right now. But he is tough to guard no matter your height, as he is big and physical and gets a lot of rebounds. Dylan Gamble to inbound. Over to Silas Graham. Silas Graham driving, gets a double team and a foul. So I feel like a lot of this Haverford scoring run has been due to the Quakers overcrowding the paint when someone drives, leaving guys on the outside open for looks.
Yes, sir. I'm wondering if Coach Brandon will look to switch into a zone or stay in this man look.
As shot up by Silas Graham is good. Silas Graham, only one prominent Division I offer, but he has a lot of interest from other programs. His father is actually a college coach, used to work at Penn, now is an assistant at Cornell as he drills the second one. A bright future for that kid. Now Fleming touching the ball after checking back in for the Quakers. Luke West over to Comitao. Comitao swings it to Fleming. Fleming passes to Boyd, who passes it right back. Fleming drives, draws the coverage, shot up, and it's good! A great physical bucket. He had basically four guys on him, and he was able to put it in. Dylan Gamble now. Gilbert left wide open in the corner, and front rim no good. Short and a rebound, Jackson Boyd. Jackson Boyd up to West. Quakers moving a fast-running offense. West swings out to the perimeter, passes to Comitao. Comitao to Fleming. Fleming wide open, no one in his zip code, but he's unable to connect. And Boyd with another rebound back to Larry Brown Jr. Yet again, no good. Off of Haverford. What a chaotic sequence of basketball there.
Yes, sir, but PC is able to retain possession of the ball. We'll see if they can capitalize and get a bucket right here.
As Luke West to inbound for the Quakers. And West, trying to avoid the 5-second violation, gets it back to Fleming. Number 24 at the top of the key. Drives being guarded by Dylan Gamble. Back to Boyd, over to West in the corner. West passes it to Komital. Fleming now. Quakers trying to find a shot, maybe from behind the arc, and there it goes from Dom Komital from way downtown. Cuts the deficit to 9.
Man, being a three-sport athlete, Dom Komital has been a great, just been real great for this PC squad, averaging 5 points a game and 3 rebounds along with it.
And after that big bucket by Komital, Haverford has called a timeout to talk it over, so we will be right back after this. And coming out of the timeout for the Quakers, it will be Carter Smith, Jackson Boyd, Dom Komital, Casey Fleming, and Larry Brown Jr. So with Kingston Roundtree missing the game due to illness, Jackson Boyd has been the Quakers' first option off the bench, and he has been quite productive so far this evening. As Connor Morcell to inbound for the Fords. Gets it to Dylan Gamble, guarded tightly by Jackson Boyd. And now a double team being enforced, but leaves Silas Graham open as he goes inside. Shot up, no good. And Silas Graham there, double team, had a man open, but tried to take it himself, unable to connect.
Man, it seems like Haverford's been able to really easily beat this trap and press by Penn Charter.
Carter Smith shot up and good. Carter Smith from deep in the corner, his first 3 of the night. And a bucket on the return, but it's blocked. Rejected by Larry Brown Jr. A foul call. I don't care what the ref says. That's still a great play by Larry Brown Jr.
Man, Coach Brandon's going to be happy about that block, even though the foul call. He'll be happy about Larry's aggressive defense.
Larry Brown Jr., a big presence in the paint, gets a lot of rebounds and a lot of blocks, as you just saw. And missed the first half of the season with an injury, but he seems like he has hit mid-season form at this point.
Yes, sir. Dan checking back in for PC. Looking to get him in a bigger role this game with 0 points right now. They'll look to get to him a little bit more.
As Carter Smith now running the floor, being guarded loosely by Silas Graham. Smith spins and unable to get to the hoop himself as he is blocked, but it will be out of bounds and Quaker ball. And checking in for Haverford is Chris Adams. As Gilhool now being guarded, big size advantage over Silas Graham. Gilhool passes to Komital. Komital to Boyd. Boyd driving along the baseline, and a foul call, I believe, against Haverford.
Yeah, foul called right there on Chris Adams, I believe.
Chris Adams, a junior, has not seen a lot of minutes for this Haverford team, but he's being subbed in pretty early into this matchup to guard Casey Fleming at the moment. And Carter Smith inbounds to Gilhool, takes it himself, shot up and good! Gilhool, his first bucket of the night, is a triple as the Quakers cut it down to 5. The offense running like a well-oiled machine right now.
Yes, sir. If Haverford leaves Dan open like that on the 3, he's going to look to shoot that every time.
And Silas Graham unable to connect, and a rebound by Gilhool. Passes it up to Komital. Komital up to Smith. Smith one-on-one, now a 2-on-1. Shot up by Smith, no good. Rebound, Silas Graham. Fast-paced game. Back to Dylan Gamble. Dylan Gamble down the floor, up and good. Coast to coast goes Gamble.
Man, real back and forth game right now.
As the Quakers not with no intention of slowing down, as Casey Fleming gets it back from Carter Smith. And Carter Smith back to Fleming in the corner. Fleming to Smith. Smith wide open, and it's no good. Rebound, Silas Graham. Silas Graham measuring only 6'4", but a great rebound. Great rebounder is Graham. As he drives himself, and it's good. Silas Graham with another bucket. He's been part of this Haverford squad since he was in 8th grade. Has already hit 1,000 points, and you can see why.
2 minutes left in the half. PC's going to try and look to go on a run. Small run right here to just at least cut the deficit to 5 or 4.
As Gilhool unable to get it to go, and it will be Haverford ball with Gamble taking it up the court.
Yeah, make this deficit a little bit more manageable coming into the second half.
Yeah, I think the Quakers are doing well. They've been shaving it off slowly. Don't want to rush and look for bad shots. But if you're Brandon Williams, you'd like it to be at least a 1-score game going into the half. As chaos in the paint, blocked by Gilhool, gets the block as Chris Adams went for the shot but couldn't get it to fall. So it'll be Quaker ball. Carter Smith to inbound with a minute 23 left to play. As Casey Fleming will take it up. Carter Smith has played a lot of point guard for this team over the season, but it feels like Fleming's been at the top of the key a lot tonight for this Quakers team.
Yes, sir. Real leader on the floor. Transferring him from George School last year, he's really stepped up into that leadership role.
Well, announcer's curse as Fleming turns it over, as Silas Graham on the other end gives it to Manny Butts, and he slams it. Manny Butts, known for his dunking ability, puts it down. Under a minute to go left. Quakers looking for a quick response point here, trying to switch the momentum after that big bucket by Manny Butts. As Carter Smith out to Komital. Komital from deep. It's good! Dominic Komital cannot leave him open.
Yes, sir. 8 points already in this first half for Dom.
Number 20 has been quite productive from deep so far this evening. As a double team, a trap strategy continuing to be used by the Quakers, but Haverford able to penetrate it, and a shot rolls in off the rim by Connor Morcell.
Yes, sir. Haverford has been easily able to beat this press early on. We'll see if Coach Brandon looks to continue this press or to...
Carter Smith to Komital again from 3, no good. So now with under 20 seconds left to play, 12 seconds, and turned over, Penn charter ball, Komital over to Carter Smith from deep, no good, off the top of the backboard, and Silas Graham falls over with the ball in his lap, and it felt like a football game with a loose ball there, and Graham arguing with the ref, but it will be an impound for Haverford with not enough time to get a quality shot off here. It looks like we will go into half. Well, pardon me, Penn charter ball, so maybe a chance to inbound and get a quick one off. And a nice bucket there with time left. Carter Smith to Jackson Boyd. So the Quakers, with that last second bucket, make it a single-digit deficit as they have cut the deficit to 8 points. Quakers trail 37-29 at half. An air ball there by the Haverford student. Really not an impressive shot from this Haverford student section, as Penn Charter trying to take momentum here in this student section show-off 3v3 game. Oh my goodness, Valentine, that is not the shot. Ball stuck in the rim. Bad shot there from the Haverford student section. And as time expires in that student section 3v3, the Quakers victorious. Hopefully that will translate into this second half. But Quakers will enter this second half trailing by 9 when we come back. Well, the Quakers entering this third quarter trailing by 8 with a score of 37-29. And other teams in the Interac in action this evening as Malvern leading EA 36-23 at halftime of that game, and SCH in a close one, trailing to GA 22-21. Well, in this game, Justin, what did you see in that first half?
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm sure Coach Brandon in their locker room discussion talked about slowing the pace down. Right now, Penn Charter has 6 turnovers in that first half, so they really need to look to slow the pace down, play at their own speed, and try to let Haverford, not rush them, as well as Penn Charter. Haverford has been easily able to beat Penn Charter's press, so I'm sure Coach Brandon will look to make a change in their defensive schemes.
On the offensive side of the ball, Dom Comital has 8 points. Carter Smith has 4 assists. He's done a great job. Obviously, normally their leading scorer. He's done a great job spreading the ball around so far tonight. And Jackson Boyd has 4 rebounds on the defensive and offensive side of the ball. He has been just so great for them off of the bench. Now, Penn Charter as a team shooting 5 for 13 from 3. So trying to find more opportunities to connect from behind the arc in the second half. 11 for 28 overall from the field, a number I'm sure they would like to be higher. They generated defensively 6 turnovers, 2 steals, 3 blocks, and 9 rebounds. So a lot to be happy about, a lot to improve on. I'm sure Brandon Williams had mixed words for them at this halftime, as under a lot of pressure. It's important for these players to relax, as tonight's game has big implications with the winner taking over top spot in the Interact division.
Yes, sir. 19 points already for Carter Smith in this first half.
As ready to inbound to begin this third quarter is Connor Morcell. Dylan Gamble swings it over to Morcell. Morcell back to Gamble. Gamble and Morcell. Gamble over to Silas Graham. Silas Graham back to Gilbert. Gilbert, Gamble from the top. No good. Rebound picked up by Silas Graham and the bucket. So Silas Graham in contact with Gilhool. The shorter guy gets the board and the bucket.
Excuse me, 5 points for Carter Smith.
Carter Smith in Penn Charter's first Interact game against EA had 19 points, and he has been scoring in the high teens and low 20s for them in recent games. As Fleming back out to Smith. Smith to Comital. Comital back to Smith. Smith dribbling against Graham. Finds a look for Comital, who drives inside, shot up, front rim, no good, but a foul.
Great drive, great aggressive drive right there from Dominic.
As it seems like Larry Brown Jr. is getting ready to check in for this Quaker squad to replace, I believe it will be Graham Hamilton. As Comital at the line, first shot is good. A single-digit deficit yet again. Quakers down by 9.
Dom at 9 points right now, tied for Penn Charter's leading scorer.
And Gilhool exits to be replaced by Larry Brown Jr. as the second shot is good from Dominic Comital. Inbound there by Frank Gilbert up to Connor Morcell now, or pardon me, up to Dylan Gamble.
Yeah, that was only Penn Charter's second trip to the line. They really need to look to be more aggressive and get to the paint this second half.
Penn Charter's been a good offensive team, averaging in the high 60s per game as a bucket is drilled by Frank Gilbert. Penn Charter can score close to 70 points a night, but I think a season-long theme for them has been trying to get to the foul line more and be more aggressive in the paint to generate more and-one plays. As Casey Fleming inside on the triple team, over to Larry Brown Jr. Larry Brown gets it to fall. A crowded paint, but finds the bottom of the net.
Great play and great fake right there from Casey.
As inside Manny Butts over to Morcell. Morcell to Gamble. Top of the key, no one in his zip code for Silas Graham, but he cannot get it to fall. And a rare miss from him when he's that open, but a foul.
Yeah, foul called on Larry Brown.
As Larry Brown was fouled, so Penn Charter will inbound.
Oh, Larry said.
As it will be Casey Fleming and Carter Smith, the two guards in the backcourt, trying to generate a look for Penn Charter. A long pass over to Graham Hamilton. Fakes the 3. Step over. Shot up. It's good! Drilled by Graham Hamilton.
Yeah, Graham's going to shoot those looks all the time. Any space, any little bit of space, he's going to shoot that.
And a great move there. Really good patience. He had the guy on him. He got the fake. Totally got the defender bite. And no contest on that shot. As Penn Charter now on defense. Silas Graham passes inside to Morcell. Morcell over to Gilbert. Gilbert sidesteps, passes to Gamble. Gamble spins, shot up, and no good. Not even close, but a foul. And going to the line will be Dylan Gamble. Crazy fun fact about Dylan Gamble. During COVID, he and his mom started a lemonade brand called Dylanades. Probably the only player in the Interact with a drink named after him, as his first shot is good.
Yeah, I believe that's Larry Brown's third foul of the game.
He did seem quite exacerbated after that bucket. If he continues at this pace, as the second shot is no good, Penn Charter may have to limit his minutes to try to prevent him from fouling out. As Casey Fleming being guarded by Graham. Over to Graham Hamilton. Graham Hamilton to Casey Fleming. Casey Fleming to Carter Smith. Carter Smith from deep. And no good. A attempt at an inbound play there by Comitao, but he loses it, and it'll be Haverford ball.
Yeah, Graham's going to try and look to get hot this second half. His first points coming off of a three a couple possessions ago. He's really going to look to try and get hot.
Yeah, Graham Hamilton for the Quakers has been slow to score so far tonight. But Silas Graham for Haverford has been tough to guard. As checking back in is the young superstar Jackson Boyd, and Graham Hamilton will leave the game for him. Jackson Boyd getting a lot of minutes now guarding Frank Gilbert. Frank Gilbert driving inside, looks outside for Silas Graham. Silas Graham over to Morcell. Morcell up and under shot, it's good! And Connor Morcell gets it to go. Connor Morcell is a 5-star lacrosse recruit who is committed to Notre Dame, so quite an athletic guy. As Carter Smith back over to Casey Fleming. Fleming drives inside, shot up, good, and the foul! Great physicality in the paint on the double team, unable to stop Casey Fleming from finding the bucket.
So Casey Fleming with 11 points right now, leading the Penn Charter squad right now.
And a chance to make it 12 as he goes to the line. And the nailed foul shot there signaled by the clap from the student section on the Penn Charter side. As Silas Graham going coast to coast, gets the charge call, does Carter Smith. Great, does Larry Brown Jr., pardon me, and a great job, especially with a guy in foul trouble. Really great, holding his block, sitting still, and stopping Silas Graham from getting the bucket and getting the charge call against him.
Yes, sir. Very risky play right there from Larry Brown, but he was able to get the charge call in his favor.
Great move by Larry as the Penn Charter student section chants talk it over, and Haverford will do just that, leading by 6 halfway through this third quarter. And we are back with 4.5 minutes to go in this third quarter. The Quakers trailing by 6 as the Haverford Fords lead 45-39.
Yes, sir. Hearing a lot of back and forth from both student sections right now. Getting real chirpy and leading into this fourth quarter.
The Quakers student section loud but respectful, keeping it Quakerly as they tend to do. Quite a good presence from both student sections. One of the beauties of Interact basketball is just these games really feel like college games. In the way that they're attended and broadcasted. As Casey Fleming inside, shot up, no good, rebound, Larry Brown Jr., but it is out of bounds off of him, and it will be Haverford ball. As Larry Brown Jr., it was a 1v3 to try to get that ball, but unable to come down with it. As Connor Morcell now to inbound to Silas Graham being guarded by Casey Fleming. Penn Charter maintaining this full court aggressive press as it leaves Frank Gilbert low downtown, and what a slam dunk by Manny Butts. He's left unattended, and he puts it in. And Manny Butts gets the bucket, and an emphatic response from the Haverford student section. Manny Butts has been really good for this Forge team of late. He scored the game winner against LaSalle, and Penn Charter cannot leave him open like that and not expect him to put one down.
Yeah, Larry Brown with 4 fouls right now. Coach Brandon's going to look to sub him out. Hopefully keep him for this fourth quarter.
But without Larry Brown on the court, they'll need someone to step up and guard Manny Butts, someone with physicality and ability to contest him in the paint as he goes for the three-point play and gets it to go.
Man, Penn Charter is continuing to struggle defensively in their press. I'm surprised that Coach Brandon hasn't looked to switch up this press yet, but I'm sure he's confident in his guys to step up.
And Jackson Boyd gets the fake, passes over to Carter Smith. Carter Smith to Fleming. Fleming guarded by Dylan Gamble. Fleming on a double team passes to Carter Smith. Smith back to West. And singing and chanting from this Haverford student section, making it hard for me to hear myself think, as a shot clock violation before Fleming can get the shot to go. And a great defensive stand there for Haverford. Their defense has been really good as of late, and they've been finding holes in this Penn Charter press, leading them to extend their lead back up to 9 points. As Dylan Gamble now being guarded by Luke West.
You know, Luke West not much of a defensive guy. We'll see if he can step up and.
Frank Gilbert in the corner, in and out, no good. And Luke West, nice rebound on defense. As Jackson Boyd taking it now, pass to Carter Smith. Carter Smith to Gilhool. Gilhool back to Boyd. And Boyd now looking for Fleming. Fleming over to Luke West. No one near him. Shot up. It is no good. Rebound Haverford. And another board for Silas Graham. He was held to just 9 points in their last game, was Graham, but he has been playing quite up to his normal standard tonight.
Yeah, I was saying, Luke West, not much of a defensive guy, more of an offensive-minded guard. But he's looking to pick up the press against his Haverford squad.
And a great up and under bucket by Silas Graham. You can see why he's so hard to guard. And yeah, Luke West, I think if the Quakers are going to come back in this game and cut the deficit down from 11, they'll need more three-pointers, as there goes a triple from behind the arc from Gilhool. And just like I was talking about, a three-pointer to cut it to an 8-point deficit. And I think three-pointers, can also come from Luke West, who's their top percentage shooter from behind the arc. And Haverford responds with a three-pointer by Connor Morcell. Feel like a game of tennis, just back and forth. Punch and counterpunch in this heavyweight matchup. As Fleming almost loses it, but gets it back. Passes to Carter Smith. Smith to Gilhool. Gilhool back to Smith. Smith almost loses it, able to get his own ball. Gamble shot over to Casey Fleming, who drills it. And Casey Fleming was open there after Silas Graham fell over. He's clutching his finger, wondering if he was banged up on the play there. A great triple from Casey Fleming.
15 points for Casey so far.
As Silas Graham from deep, no good. Rebound, Penn Charter and Gilhool. As Casey Fleming running the floor. Haverford looking for answers and a way to guard him tonight, as Fleming has been able to repeatedly find good looks and cash in against this Ford's defense.
Only 2 rebounds so far from Dan. We'll see if he'll crash the glass. Look to crash the glass a little bit more.
Yeah, I think that just speaks as Haverford gets the turnover. Silas Graham on the other end and gets it to go. I think that rebounding issue just speaks to the Haverford Ford's ability and coordination in the paint, as they have been able to find rebounds and second chance buckets all night long. And now with a minute to go in this third quarter, they are leading the Quakers 55-45. We'll be right back after this timeout. And we're back out of this timeout with a minute to go in the third quarter for Haverford. It will be Silas Graham, Dylan Gamble, Chris Adams, and Jack Maloney, I believe, as well as Manny Butts. For the Quakers, it will be Carter Smith, Casey Fleming with the ball, Jackson Boyd, Daniel Gilhool, and Dom Komitau as this third quarter winds down.
Yes, sir. Penn Charter shooting 44% from three right now. Dan being a big part of that, shooting 2 for 2 as of right now.
And Carter Smith able to get a jump ball there as he was almost lost the ball as he was driving to the hoop there.
Yeah, Dan, he's a really big shooter. Usually a traditional big, but he has a great jumper, a very reliable and consistent jumper, as we've seen so far in this game.
I mean, that's what makes this game so versatile. He's 6'11" and able to find shots like that. And infuriated is Coach Brandon Williams as it will be Haverford ball. As I believe a foul there against Penn Charter. And checking in for the Quakers is Graham Hamilton as Gilhool leaves. And Connor Morcell checks in for the Fords, replacing Chris Adams. Morcell inbounds, and it's stolen by Carter Smith, but he drops it out of bounds. So Haverford will inbound again with just 37 seconds left in this third quarter. Quakers trying to find a stop and a quick bucket before this quarter winds down as Manny Butts collects the ball on the inbound. Dylan Gamble now being pressed by Casey Fleming. Gamble to Morcell, Morcell to Butts, Butts back to Gamble. Gamble driving, looking inside, passes over to Jack Maloney, who loses it out of bounds as Graham Hamilton will inbound with 18.4 seconds left. The Quakers have time to get off one shot. Who are they looking for? Who's the hot hand? Who's going to try to find this final shot of the quarter, Justin?
Man, with Casey with 15 points, they're going to look to have the ball in his hands to end this quarter, to hopefully finish this quarter off strong with a bucket.
And Casey had it, got the double team, back to Casey. Casey, just as you called, it goes for the shot, but passes it instead to Graham Hamilton, who's no good. Rebound, Casey Fleming again. Casey Fleming driving inside as the clock winds down, shot up, no good at the buzzer, but a rebound. So the quarter will end with Casey Fleming, I believe, going to the line. And Fleming able to draw the pressure as Haverford may have been expecting him to take the shot, but he's able to drive in and earn his way to the foul line.
Foul on Connor Morcell right there.
And first shot good as the quarter is over. Both coaches using this as an opportunity to adjust their players. So although it's not a technical foul, Casey is shooting alone for his second shot. And he drills it, cutting the deficit to 8 points as we head into this final frame of Interact Basketball. The Penn Charter Quakers trailing 55-47. To start out this final frame of play for the Quakers, it will be Komitau, Fleming, Carter Smith, Jackson Boyd, and Graham Hamilton. And Jackson Boyd not a starter, but seeing a lot of time on the court this evening.
Man, although the struggles on offense for Penn Charter and defensively, they're only down by 8 right now going into this fourth quarter.
As Silas Graham tries to find the bucket, unable to, off of him, and it'll be Quaker ball. Yeah, the Penn Charter has been able to keep it a close game, and although Carter Smith has been pretty shut down tonight, leaving Casey Fleming and Don Komitau open, who have been leading the Quakers in scoring.
Yeah.
Only 5 points, I believe, for Carter Smith on the evening. As Komitau up and under the baseline, passed it to Boyd. Boyd from behind the arc. No good. Rebound, Silas Graham. And a foul, a little Graham on Graham action as Graham Hamilton fouls Silas Graham. And now the Quakers setting up again in this press formation, trying to generate turnovers and pick their way 1 point at a time back into this game. And they force another turnover there, but a foul against Graham Hamilton as he pushed Dylan Gamble out of bounds. So Dylan Gamble being helped up by his teammates as he will be inbounded to by Frank Gilbert.
Graham with 4 fouls right now. I'm sure Coach Brandon will probably look to sub him out or not. With only 7 minutes left in this fourth quarter, I'm sure he needs Graham on the floor to generate some scoring. With
Larry Brown and Graham Hamilton in scoring trouble, the Quakers are short at options in terms of big men, but those two will have to try to play a clean game and stay in this matchup. As Silas Graham now drawing the double team, passes underneath Frank Gilbert, wide open and good. So the Quakers, the double team there, as it has many times this evening, leading to an open man, which was Gilbert, who cashes in to make it a 10-point game yet again. And the ball lost there by Casey Fleming by a foul, much to the chagrin of the Haverford coaching staff. It will be Penn Charter ball. And Jackson Boyd inbounding here to Carter Smith. If the Quakers are going to come back in this one, Carter Smith is going to have to find a clutch bucket or two, and he does, spinning inside, gets the foul call. Although not the bucket, he will go to the line. And I feel like we harped on it earlier, Quakers trying to find foul shots. They're doing a better job in the paint getting those calls.
Yes, sir. Definitely being a little bit more aggressive in the paint, looking to drive and generate some fouls.
And Carter Smith will shoot 2. Well, Carter Smith, Penn Charter's 4-star recruit. He received his first Division I offer from Syracuse this summer, as the shot is good. This is his 3rd year on varsity. He's been playing since 8th grade, kind of a parallel to Silas Graham. The best players in both these teams, you know, the way to become a great high school player is by experience, and both of these stars, Graham and Carter, as it's good, both of them have been playing since 8th grade for their respective teams.
Yes, sir. Carter being ranked 5th in his class in the state and 11th in the country at combo guard.
As Dylan Gamble now being guarded tightly by Jackson Boyd. Gamble passes to Morcell. Morcell into Silas Graham. Silas Graham being guarded by Carter Smith. And Casey Fleming gets in there and gets the turnover. A nice defensive play as he throws it up to Carter. Carter Smith driving inside on the double team. Carter Smith bucket up and no good. And a goaltending violation there by Casey Fleming as he tried to get the ball to dunk in, but the bucket will be no good.
Quick Interact update. SCH leading GA 33-30, and Malvern leading EA 62-29.
So Malvern absolutely dominant. A Malvern team that this Haverford squad was able to beat. And Dylan Gamble at the line. I believe a technical foul on Fleming was called for hanging on the rim, meaning Gamble will get multiple shots from the line as he makes his first one.
Yeah, I'm sure some frustration in this game from Casey Fleming. You know, bad mistake by him, but you know, still leading the team in points. Still a big leader on the floor, so they're really going to need him.
Yeah, if you're Fleming, you got to have memory of a goldfish. Shake it off, get right back out there. Quakers are going to need more defensive stops out of him if they're going to come back into this game.
Yes,
as Connor Morcell inbounds to Manny Butts. Larry Brown back in the game for the Quakers, guarding Morcell. Morcell inside against the double team, finds Gamble wide open on the perimeter. Back to Morcell in the corner, gets the fake. Mid-range shot faked, and a hand on it by Larry Brown Jr. as yet again he's involved in defense.
Way to recover right there for Larry Brown.
Bites on the fake, but still able to prevent the shot. As Carter Smith over to Dom Comitel, connects from 3. And some Quaker meeting being observed by the Haverford student section as they are completely silent after that bucket, with Comitel cutting it to 6 points. And a controversial call, to say the least, against Penn Charter, which will give Haverford an inbound on the ball.
Yes, sir. Foul called right there on Jackson Boyd.
And this coach, Brandon Williams, really wears his heart on his sleeve. A lot of emotion between him and the ref after that one. And Carter Smith generates a turnover. You know what they say, ball don't lie, as Fleming from deep, no good. And Manny Butts in transition up to Silas Graham. Silas Graham looking to get inside. Euro step shot up and no good and no foul called. Great defense by the Quakers. Running coast to coast is Casey Fleming. Casey Fleming slows the offense down, passes it to Dom Komital.
Smart play right there for Casey to slow the offense down. 1-on-4 right there against the Haverford squad. Got to look to come out.
And Komital again from deep. Bang! Komital gets it to go, cutting it to a one-score game. Dom Komital has been dominant and relentless from behind the arc, and Haverford calls a timeout. The student section to their feet. The Haverford team will talk it over as Penn Charter has cut the deficit to 3 points with just under 5 minutes to play in this fourth quarter. We'll be right back after this timeout. And a great tight matchup in this fourth quarter between the Quakers and the Fords of Haverford. With just under 5 minutes to play, the Quakers still trail by 3 as it is 58-55. And coming out to play in this final 5 minutes of the game is Carter Smith, Casey Fleming, Jackson Boyd, who's been all over the place tonight, Dom Komital, who's been quite a threat from 3, and the man in foul trouble, Larry Brown Jr.
Penn Charter able to cut this lead from 16 all the way down to 3, thanks to the help of Dominic Comitel coming out in this fourth quarter, scorching hot, 2 for 2 from 3.
Yeah, they're close, but not quite there yet. Quakers have not led yet tonight as Manny Butts over to Frank Gilbert. Gilbert back to Morcell. Morcell inside, shot up, no good, but a foul. And the Quakers will send Morcell to the line again as he has shot a handful of foul shots tonight. He's been quite active in the paint.
I believe that's Larry's 5th foul tonight. Only one more until he fouls out.
And the frustration for him is palpable, but I'm assuming when he comes out, Graham Hamilton will come in to replace him as there he is getting ready to check in. So Hamilton also in some foul trouble of his own, but coming in to try to assist this Quaker squad in these final few minutes. Big foul shots here from Morcell as the first one is good to make it a 2-score game. As Chris Adams checks back in for Haverford, replacing Frank Gilbert. And Morcell 2 for 2 from the line. Big shots there as Quakers down by 5. They'll need a bucket here in response. Carter Smith now passes to Casey Fleming. Casey Fleming driving as he has many times tonight, unable to find the bucket. Ball all over the place on the floor and picked up after the chaos by Silas Graham. Graham ahead to Dylan Gamble with the bucket. And nice assist there by Silas Graham, finding Gamble, who was able to go coast to coast.
Man, Haverford has been able to easily switch between their zone and man.
And what a play by Carter Smith, fighting between multiple guys in the paint for the bucket. Back to a 5-point game.
Penn Charter coming out with a soft press.
And now Frank Gamble. If you're the Fords here, you'd think they'd want to slow it down, try to take off a lot of clock. Don't want to let the Quakers get quick buckets or create turnovers. Connor Morcell from behind the arc, it's good! A big bucket there from Morcell as the Fords extend their lead back out to 8 points.
As I was saying earlier, Haverford has been easily able to switch between their zone.
And Casey Fleming no good there from behind the arc as Carter Smith tried to get it to him, but he was unable to connect wide right on the shot.
Yeah, Haverford has been able to easily switch between their zone and man defenses. And it's looked like Penn Charter has been struggling with these changes in their defense, not been able to get used to these different defensive schemes.
And Miles Jacobs, a substitution in there for his defense is Jacobs. He's one of the team's top players in terms of generating blocks. So number 4 Jacobs will look to make his presence known as he enters the game for the first time in this fourth quarter. As Morcell gets the fake and connects from downtown. Connor Morcell, nylon from the corner.
Yes, sir. With 3 of Penn Charter's bigs in foul trouble, Coach Brandon is going to have to look to the end of the bench for Miles Jacobs to come in and step up as a big.
As Carter Smith gets fouled. Big minutes here from Miles Jacobs. He'll be asked to guard Frank Gilbert or Manny Butts in the paint. And a lot of credit's got to be given to Coach Bernie Rogers for Haverford. This defensive scheme has been really impressive, generating a lot of turnovers and stifling the Quakers' scoring abilities through man and zone coverage. As Smith the line.
Carter's second trip to the line tonight.
His first one is good.
Yeah, over the summer, Carter Smith plays with Team Final EYBL, so he's really able to improve his game every summer with great competition in that EYBL circuit.
And his second shot is no good. Yeah, EYBL, and a foul, I believe, against Penn Charter. EYBL is the highest level, one of the highest levels of club basketball. I believe it's where Jake West played back in his high school days. And Carter Smith looks right at home here on this Penn Charter squad. He's improved greatly this season with a points per game of upwards of 21, but not able to reach that 20-point mark yet tonight. We'll see what he has left for him at the end of this fourth quarter. As Fleming inside on the triple team shot up, no good. And rebounded by Connor Morcell as Fleming hears it from the Haverford student section. Dylan Gamble back to Connor Morcell. Quakers back in the press, creating chaos. And a 10-second violation generated by the Quakers.
Yes, sir. That press has finally worked in Penn Charter's favor to force that turnover, force that 10-second violation.
Now with 2.5 minutes to go, trailing by 10, they'll need fast and effective offense here if they look to chip into this lead. And a foul, I believe, against Haverford.
Yeah, I'm sure Miles Jacobs is feeling pretty ice cold right now, having only warmed up in this game. No action tonight. I'm sure it's pretty hard to come into this game with only 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, a lot being asked of Miles Jacobs, but the senior has a lot of experience on this team as Carter Smith's bucket is good. And Miles Jacobs has looked right at home, to be honest, so far tonight. I've seen no mistakes or anything to comment on from him. As Carter Smith for his second shot off the front rim, rebounded by Silas Graham. And man, he's only 6'4", but he rebounds like a 7-footer. Silas Graham, one of the reasons he's such a highly recruited player. As Morcell, nothing but net from the corner. And Penn Charter will call a timeout as Haverford has re-extended their lead back to 12 points with 2.25 to play in this final fourth quarter of play. With 2 minutes and 17 seconds to play in this matchup between Penn Charter and Haverford, the Quakers trail by 12. It will be Boyd, Smith, Fleming, Komital, and Miles Jacobs on the court as they are rolling the ball to save time.
I'm curious to see if Penn Charter will finish this game off with Miles Jacobs or look to close the game with their 2 starters, Dan and Graham.
As Fleming, short off the rim, rebounded by Jackson Boyd, and I believe a foul against Emmanuel Butts in the paint. So Jackson Boyd will head to the line. He's shooting 69% from free throws, and 2 important shots here for Boyd.
Yeah, Carter, Casey, and Dom all in double figures tonight, though.
As first one good for Boyd. I feel like the Quakers have been quite efficient at the foul line tonight, but not enough as they still trail by 11. As Boyd 2 bounces and a shot. And it's short and rebound, Manny Butts. Passes it to Silas Graham, being guarded tightly by Carter Smith, and Carter Smith fouls him. Interesting decision there. I wonder if that's an intentional foul or if he just bumped into him there.
Yeah, I'm sure it was just an accidental foul. I'm sure with 2 minutes left, Penn Charter's not going to look to foul this early just yet.
I agree, and I'd wonder when Brandon Williams will make the switch, as the first shot is good from Graham. If the Quakers are in a close enough game where they can foul, or if they will just try to get stops going down the stretch here. As Gilbert exits and Chris Adams, the junior, enters. Silas Graham preparing for his second shot. It is good. And back up to a 12-point lead now. Carter Smith running the floor, a fast-paced offense. It will have to be for this Quakers team. Carter loses it in transition. Chris Adams has it, slowing down play. And Connor Morcell being guarded and double-teamed and trapped and fouled.
Only Carter's first turnover tonight.
Yeah, Carter not reaching his normal point tally, but he's had a really fundamentally good all-around night with assists, rebounds, and creating open looks for other guys. I'm sure he's frustrated after that turnover, but...
Yes, sir. Very respectable 12 points, 2 rebounds, and 6 assists for him tonight.
As back to the line goes Morcell. He had 14 points in Haverford's last game where they ousted Malvern.
Big free throws for him right now.
And the Quakers had cut it to a 5-point lead, but back up to a 14-point difference in score after the bucket there.
A little frustration from Penn Charter's bench as Coach Brandon is called for a technical foul.
Yeah, Brandon Williams, I think nothing but good things to say about him as a coach. He's a physical, he's a aggressive, some would say, loud guy. You know, I was watching them practice the other day, and I just looked over and I just saw nothing but running on this court as the Quakers have very, very high-intensity practices under Coach Brandon Williams. Now checking in for the Quakers is Silas Burney, his first points, his first entrance of the night, and Hanif Hughes, who has yet to play all season due to injury. So number 25, we'll see what he can do for the Quakers, and it appears they are digging deep into their bench with a minute 50 left to play in this game.
You know, I'm sure very excited for Silas to get in. Tough loss for Penn Charter tonight. But, you know, it's great to see Coach Brandon look at the end of the bench, get those guys in, get some minutes at the end.
A lot they'll be able to take away from this game. The Quakers will remain one of the higher-ranked teams in the Interac. On the flip side of things, I'm sure it's exciting for Haverford to have played this fundamental type of basketball they have performed with tonight.
Yeah, you know, as the saying goes, a loss is just a chance to grow. And that's what I'm sure Penn Charter will look to do in Coach Brandon.
As Dylan Gamble is found down low. And, you know, we can talk about the game, we can talk about it in the abstract, but think about this moment now. It's got to be a big moment for Hanif Hughes, as he has not played all season, and you'll think he's trying to find a bucket or two in the small amount of time he has.
As Haverford empties out their bench, subbing in a whole new 5.
As Komital gets the defenders to bite on the fake, up and in, down low, not able to get the shot to fall, but the foul. And Bernie Rogers signals that this game is just about over as he puts in his entire bench. Entering for Haverford will be a multitude of guys who have not seen a whole lot of floor time tonight. But first, Komital will shoot from the line. First one is no good. As a complete new set of players for Haverford. As Chaz Rodriguez enters and Roman Pena seeing his first minutes on the court.
A lot of chance right now from Haverford's student section.
And Komital connects. Well, a start the buses chant, I hate to say it, it only works when you're the away team, because where are they going to start the buses chant? We're playing at home, you know, not to criticize the student section, but want to be more factually accurate with their chants there. As Roman Pena inside, and Penn Charter playing tight defense on this new set of bench players from behind the arc. Shot is no good by Owen Murphy.
Rebound from Hanif right there.
Finding his way onto the stat sheet as Komital from deep, no good, and rebound by Owen Murphy. Owen Murphy seeing a little bit of time for the Fords. He is actually a baseball recruit who throws upwards of 90 miles an hour as a pitcher. but currently playing.
Wouldn't want to get hit by a fastball from him.
No, as a baseball player, I'm slightly dreading having to play him this spring. As Penn Charter continuing to trap and play physical defense that pays off with the steal. So with 17 seconds left, trailing by 16, not straying from the fundamentals is this Penn Charter squad. As Silas Burney now in at point guard, taking the ball up the court, back to Boyd, to Komitau, yet again behind the arc, it's good! Komitau, quite a night from him, despite all other miscues from Penn Charter. You have to say, Komitau has been quite effective from behind the line as he's in there trying to get a steal, but it will still be Haverford ball.
Yes, sir, leading Penn Charter squad with 20 points tonight from Dominic Komitau.
And that will just about do it as the clock expires here in the Graham Athletic Center. A win for the Haverford Fords as they go to 3-0 on top of the Interact. The Quakers will drop to 2-1 in second place. Your final score, 77-64. We'll be right back with our post-game recap right after this. Well, at the end of the first quarter, the Quakers were only down by 6. They cut it to a closer game at one point, but the Fords led by as much as 16, and they ended up winning by a double-digit score. So quite a complete all-around game from this Haverford Fords team. A lot of things to like from Penn Charter, mainly Dom Komitau, dominant from behind the arc, and Quakers, their next game, I believe, within the Interact will be against Germantown Academy.
Against Malvern.
Against Malvern, pardon me. Malvern, a team that Haverford was able to beat, but has still been playing quite well this season. So a lot to look forward to for this Quakers squad, and a lot to take away from tonight's matchup for Brandon Williams. And we will return next with a girls basketball game here on Penn Charter Broadcasting on January 30th. I'd like to thank everyone in our broadcast crew: Justin Generals, BJ Hall, Avery Williams, Sean Marawaha, Macklin Sullivan, and Porter Stillwagon. Good night, and go Quakers.